As New Zealand's tourism sector finally back to pre-COVID levels. Goodness me, it's taken its time. Fresh data shows international visitor arrivals and spending are continuing to climb, giving a much-needed boost to the sector. International visitor survey results show for the year ending June 2025, international tourism contributed $12.1 billion to New Zealand's economy. That's up 4.3% compared to the previous year, reflecting a 5% increase in international visitor arrivals. So they are coming here. Are we back in business? Matt Woods from Destination New Zealand's Queenstown Chief Executive with an amazing set of specs on this morning, much better than mine even. I'm getting some specs envy already. But tell us what you're seeing down there, Matt.
Oh, Garth, it's been amazing actually. As you mentioned, tourism numbers have come back to pre-COVID levels. We've been a little bit more fortunate down here in Queenstown and Wanaka that actually we got back to those levels in 2023. But it's now encouraging to see that the rest of New Zealand is actually getting the same benefits that we've been able to enjoy down here in Queenstown and Wanaka, that we are seeing those visitation levels across the country come back.
So when they're coming in, are they just coming in and staying now and going and staying other places, or are they coming into Queenstown and then spreading out a little bit? Are you sharing some of the love?
Yeah, we're definitely sharing some of the love. There's definitely a lot of dispersal going on, particularly across the regions. And here in the lower south, we have what we refer to as the Southern Way. So actually looking at how do we move people around the lower south, particularly flying into Dunedin, maybe travelling down to Invercargill, popping into sort of Milford Sound, and then coming back to Queenstown and flying out. But, equally at the same time, I think it's about looking at those markets that are coming here. Australia is still actually our #1 international market, and we're seeing a lot of Australians coming, particularly this winter, to come skiing. And right now we've got an incredible spring. We're seeing these storms keep rolling in with more and more snow. So the Australians are coming to go skiing. And we're also seeing a lot of Americans popping in because they're seeing New Zealand as a safe destination. And of course, their dollar is so strong. So they've got a really strong spending power that they're able to actually spend that money when they come here and enjoy themselves.
I mean, what else is Queenstown doing specifically to try and maintain or grow from here at this point, other than just sort of funneling people through that, to send them down country for a wee bit?
Yeah, look, this is a long play. And if you think about for the last 40 years, Queenstown is promoting itself, particularly internationally with the Australian markets. It's not a short game. This is something we've been doing for a long time. COVID was obviously something that actually was a bit of an interruption there, but that gave us that ability to stop and pause and think about actually what we'd like tourism to look like into the future. And that gives us that opportunity to look at the tourism growth roadmap that the Minister is talking about at the moment, where we start to look at that supply and demand side. And at the moment, there's obviously concentration on the demand side, but we also do need to look at the supply side, and in particular in Queenstown, thinking about infrastructure and what's that infrastructure required for our residents and our visitors to enjoy the experience here.
So that thing's literally just like making sure there's enough houses for some of your workers and people like that to live in, rather than the experience of the people that are coming to visit, yeah?
Well, actually, even more simple than that. Sometimes it's actually just roading and water and waste. And at the moment, we really do suffer a lot from congestion. If you think about our short trip from the airport to town, which should be 15 minutes, sometimes that's taking 30 to 45 minutes. So thinking about infrastructure, and particularly around moving our visitors and our community around the district to ensure that we can have a great guest experience and the residents can also have a great experience at the same time.
I guess that's the last mile, but what about the flights and so on coming in? We know that connections to New Zealand really dropped off during COVID and struggled to sort of return to their levels. Have we seen, is there a pipeline? Is there a number of flights that can get people here in the volumes that you'd like to see?
Yeah, we're really fortunate in Queenstown that we do have an international airport, or a Trans-Tasman international airport. And in fact, it is the busiest holiday Trans-Tasman airport in the country from Australia, because it does have all 4 airlines flying into it. So with Air New Zealand, Qantas, Jetstar and Virgin, the only airport in the country that actually has Virgin flying in and out from Australia. We've also got strong connectivity coming into particularly Auckland and North America. We've never seen so many airlines flying into Auckland from North America as we are at the moment. So connectivity into New Zealand is actually strong. Of course, we've got those really strong headwinds at the moment with Air New Zealand having the engine problems. That is a bit of a hiccup. That's taking a bit more time for them to be able to recover.